Hoffman.
I didn't know I was going to speak tonight. I'm not prepared. My name is Dave Hoffman, and I'm presently Commissioner in District 2. But with realignments, moves me over into District 1, which will be Ida, Summerfield, and Graceville. I'm all ups on the Second Amendment. I'm a farmer and I'm a contractor my whole life. And I've had a CCW, which I call it the old way. And with my work, when I do work with ATF and FBI a lot out in fire investigations through my construction business, I carry most daily when I'm out of town. It's been very proven to be protection for myself and the officers that I do work out in some of the areas of the cities we get into. But in my district now, we do have 3 gun clubs. I've been real avid in helping them maintain and put additions and whatever it takes. I'd like to have your support.
Thank you all. Excellent speakers. The plan now is to take questions from the audience so we can direct them depending on the questions. Some people might be better at handling these questions, or might be more expert, or they might, because of their jurisdiction and so on, they might be the one to ask. So I've got a few questions from the audience. There are cards on your tables, or about like so, if you want to submit a question. And just hand it up and it gets conveyed up here, and I will go through them. We've got a couple of questions that are similar in the sense that, well, I'll ask, these are very similar. I think this is kind of wittily put. And I don't know quite who wants to take this. Maybe we'll take a volunteer from someone. Here's the question. Why are we holding a gun rights meeting in a gun-free zone?
That's my question, by the way. Just
I'd like to take, and try to answer that. We're trying to broaden our perspective here. We do a lot of this stuff at Cabela's, and of course that's a pistol zone up there. So when I talked to Dr. Nixon, he was more than agreeable to have something like this here. And I'm sorry I had to put that on the flyer, that please no carry, no firearms on property.
You know how naked I feel.
Well,
and unsafe.
that's another situation.
We won't talk about it.
No, we won't talk about that. But, I mean, that is my doing, and I thought being in Monroe, the middle of Monroe, that it would be a good location for us to do something like this. And we're trying to get into different areas that are gun-friendly, although they are not gun zones.
Isn't that an oxymoron? Gun friendly, no carry zone.
Right.
You can't be both. You can't be a gun friendly place and disallow lawful carry when it has no proven value for safety.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
That's what we had to undo through the legislature and through our laws.
Okay.
And I am 100% in agreement with you.
Okay.
I mean, I think we need to change our laws. And a campus like this, you've got to be 21 to have your CPL. So that's one of the requirements. You can't carry if you're 17, 18, 19, or 20 years old. So I think we need to change that law. The only thing I worry about when we get up to Michigan State, Michigan, is where are those guns going to be stored? That's the only question I've got on this. You're 21 years old, you can go over and fight in Iraq, Afghanistan, you can support your country in every which way, but
You can do that at 17.
and you don't have the rights to carry.
You can do that at 17.
Huh?
You can do that at 17.
Yeah,
As a veteran, I know that. I went in at 17.
right.
Okay. When are you going to run for office?
Very shortly.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that. That's a good response. Now, you gave me some time to ruminate over this question a little bit.
Could we hear from Mr. Zorn on that?
I was going to ask Mr.
Okay.
Zorn, and I have a plan, if I propose this.
All right.
It seems to me that this is a thing that probably the state level legislatures, legislative people are going to take up first. But this also affects the county commissioners. I mean, this is something, hey, this is Macomb County Community College, Macomb County Community College, it's an M, I got it close. It's Monroe County Community College, and a lot of these concealed carry laws, you remember, started as local events. I mean, as county level and so on. So they started issuing. So let's start with the state level candidates, and then let's go to the county commissioners. And Mr. Zorn, your name was mentioned.
Thank you. I think you're absolutely right in what you said. You can't have it both ways. And currently, there is a number of laws out there that does that. There's also a number of bills that have been passed in the House, as well as some that are in the law, that is changing that scenario. We have a long ways to go. It's far from being done. But I do think the lawful purpose bill that I was referring to earlier is a part of that, because that's going to open up more areas. I'd like to say we'd be able to open it up across the state, but sometimes you got to take smaller steps to get where you need to be. And we are taking those steps. There's battles out there to wage, but I think typically with legislature here, another year or two that things could turn around.
How about Larry Kreider, your opponent in the same district in the state?
Well, I think that there were bills that were introduced, and Wayne, you probably know the exact, I think it was 98 hours of training to be allowed to carry on campus. Special
Be
training.
9 hours. That bill is being voted on right now. I believe it's Senate Bill 59.
Well, that's
if
right,
I'm not
it's
mistaken.
98 rounds.
98
98
rounds.
rounds in
yeah.
9 hours. That's right.
Well, that's for the original CPL.
But the bills were pending, so I personally don't think that anybody's going to come in and shoot up the campus if people are trained in that campus. And I think that Wayne has a valid concern about where you store them if it's a overnight campus, dormitory type situation. But I think that there's always a way to skin a cat, and I think it can be done. But I think with the expanded training, to teach people how to deal with certain situations that might develop in those currently no-carry zones, I think it can be accomplished.
Thank you. Thank you, Glenn. How about we go to the 17th District State Representative, and I think Bill Lavoie has gone to his appointment.
Yes.
But Ann Rossio, I'm sure you'd be happy to talk about this.
Absolutely, thank you. We were talking earlier about my time at Northern. I was president of the upperclassmen dorm during my time at Northern Michigan University, and what I found very unfortunate was a gentleman across the hall served our country in Iraq, and his gun had to be locked up in what was called the Public Safety Building, which was almost a mile down campus. I don't think that's right. So yes, I think it's very much the juxtaposition of incongruities to have thank you Monroe County Community College for allowing us to have this year, but I think, having this in a gun-free zone, it's interesting to say the least, but I do think it's fundamentally, from my personal experience, it's unfair, it's not right, and I would work against that. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's see, that's their state level. Let's go down to the county commissioners. Now, I might be revealing my ignorance of the governance of the college here. I'm not sure if the pardon me?
The community college has a board of trustees.
Do they have their own board of trustees? Do you have any effect on them whatsoever?
Not correct.
What would you do indirectly?
I would just make an important statement in the debate that often gets thrown in your face for the concealed carry issue, and that is, when it was first passed, all we heard, there were a plethora of made-for-TV movies on how it was going to descend into a Wild West situation, and I'll point to all your attention that that has not happened. And in fact, I challenge you, because I've looked and for myself, to prove where any validly issued CPL holder has done anything. Period.
Thank you, Henry. Let's see, let me go with county council, please.
Can I also introduce Dr. Bell, one of our fellow county commissioners, who's probably just saving a patient, now he can join us.
And that's why Dr. Bell is here late. He was at office hours tonight, so if we could get him just a little more time.
All right, I think so. Let's field this question, and then Dr. Pell will come to you and give you your 5 minutes, if you like. Does that sound fair?
Sure.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, what other county commissioners we got? Mr. Hoffman, you want to talk to this?
I think it should be allowed. A lot up there by Cabela's, we've been seeing a lot in town, and I know we get right to carry. And I see a lot of folks moving through town, because I live next to my town.
Mhm.
You know, especially on weekends, you see it right to carry, you see many folks just right out and wide open. And I think as long as you're qualified, and there's a little background or a little extra training situations, you'll be very popular. It's a bad guy, he knows if he got a gun, he's not gonna come in. And matter of fact, when I work with the fellas out of town, we carry in the open. Usually I carry a briefcase on one excavator between me. But when I'm working out there with ATF, FBI, because they know more about myself than I do. And they have experience, we got a lot of these jobs. They have you carrying right out of the open. Because they want the bad guys in them areas to know that you're carrying, and that puts a wave out there. I worked along the railroad today, we're getting out of the way of blinks. We actually got stray bullets wandering around, you know, so we're actually carrying, I think, would be real profitable on the schools.
Excellent. I think, all right, we've handled this question pretty well. Dr. Bill, how about we let you catch up with your 5 minutes, or whatever amount of time you want to speak, 5 minutes max, about your position on Second Amendment matters in general, and you're running for county commissioner?
I am indeed for District 3.
Will you come up and use the microphone?
Sure.
Please.
I used to be a teacher. I really don't need it,
That's good. Yeah, you have the voice.
but hey, I'll take it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate you all allowing me just to walk in. I apologize I have to do that, but anyway, to make things very short, I speak English. It is my native tongue. I read English. And I think the Constitution can kind of be taken as it stands and as it reads, that the right to bear arms is infringed. That's the way I read it. I have a CPL. I carry in accordance to the law. I used to be a history teacher, so I like to collect historical guns. I like to fix them up. Occasionally, when time allows, I like to shoot them. That's where I stand on the issue. I'd love to be more clear if I could be, but I'm not sure if I can. Are there any questions? Crowd erupts. Sure.
Thank you, sir.
We almost have a quorum with the board here, so I'd like to say something about Carl.
Yeah, there's as Henry mentions, there may be a quorum, almost a quorum. Now, let me ask one more question, since we have not as many questions as I'd like. Did you see anything that the commissioners can do to link with, affect, impress, coerce the governing body of the college here? Is there any precedent for that? Have you ever tried to say, hey, we live here too, let's talk? And something to do with Second Amendment, is this, or you don't want to discuss this in public?
This is for me.
This is for any one of you. We've got the commissioners here, we might as well ask some questions. You agree? Yeah. So, Henry, if you want to answer this.
Well, I don't think there's anything lawfully that we can do as commissioners. We can certainly put forward a resolution in support of the bills to expand, well, not expand, but to eliminate the gun-free zone being college campuses. But that is state law at present time, and you're talking about an area that we don't have jurisdiction. So I hate to punt it, but we often send our resolutions in support of things that we favor.
But you have much moral authority, I would think. Yes. Okay, that's good.
I'd love to
I
think
like
so.
moral authority. I know we've got volunteers.
I just
Jill
wanted-
LaVoy first.
I just wanted to remind
Representative
everyone
Walker's
that the trustees for the community college are elected as well, and there are people on the ballot this November for community college, and so.
And none of them showed up here?
To the extent, well, I'm just,
If that's a good observation.
I'm just saying, that those are the people that would be directly impacting that, and those are elected individuals as well.
Thank you. Representative Walker, you got a comment?